So, welcome everybody to your October Sacred Rhythms forecast and intuitive card week weekly reading with myself, Roberta Robbins, and my dear friend Nancy Reed. So, as we were saying over in the community, the Cosmic Earth Weavers community, because that's where we're streaming live to right now, and we know this will be posted over on my Facebook channel, but we're in the eclipse right now. So who knows what might happen during this call. Um, it feels very different. And Nancy and I booking today because we rescheduled from last week to today. And I don't think did you realize, Nancy, that this would be right in the eclipse happening?
Not until Sunday. On Sunday, I went, oh, and then I was like, oh, well, it's meant to be as it's meant to be.
Yeah.
I was going to message you, and then I was just like,
It's got to be whatever it's got to be, right? So it is happening. It is afternoon, after 12 o'clock ish here in Eastern Standard Time in Ontario, where I am. And probably started, I don't know if it started, it was 11:42, I believe, the time. Of course, we are not getting it here in North America. It's quite south, who will be actually visibly be able to see this happening this time around. But the energies are really potent and beyond right now. I mean, I'm just gonna, it's been a little bit of a crazy town. I've been using the word crazy town, shit show. What the F? Can I just crawl back into bed? Kind of feel for a few days. It's like up and down. It's like great, wonderful things. And then it's like, what the kind of energy. And it seems like a lot of people are feeling that. Nancy, what about you? How has this, because we've been in this eclipse season for a few weeks now, because 2 weeks ago we had the lunar, and it's open 2 weeks prior to that, and we still have another 2 weeks before it closes, but we know this energy runs for like 6 months anyhow. How's it all been doing? How are you been doing? How's it been feeling?
I think that it's brought a lot of awareness of just really finding that center and being like, okay, yes, this is happening here. And like that awareness of choice, and also great forgiveness of self when it does feel like crazy town. Like, so yes, it's like I have all of these lovely notes about October and being like full of potential and possibilities. And also, sometimes it just feels like, what the, and you can, in that energy, it's really about holding yourself tighter, giving yourself that warmth and that love and compassion. And I feel like this eclipse really wants us to let go of shoulds and judgment, and but in relation to our relationship to ourselves, and yes, of course, to everybody else. But until we do that for ourselves, we can't do that for anybody else, really. And so yesterday, kids had an extra day off school. It was like, yes, we scheduled an extra riding lesson for my daughter. We were like, yay, bonus day. We go outside, we go to get in the car, and our neighbor goes, it's a shit show out there in traffic, right? And I was like, no, what? Like, I just checked the app. It should only take a couple minutes more than it was in the summer. And he's like, no, everything's backed up. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to go. Like, we want to be there. It took us 2 hours to get to the barn. It should have been 35 minutes, like, and it was just gridlock traffic everywhere. And so while we were sitting in it, I was just like, okay, there is all of this chaos around us that we cannot control. And at that point, I couldn't even turn around and go home. Like, and it's so gridlocked in every direction that it was just like, okay, what choice are we going to want to make in this energy? And that just felt very powerful for October. It's like in all of the stuff, this nine energy, what choices do we want to make? So in that, I was like, okay, let's just do. And then we ended up having a beautiful day on the other side of it, right? But there were moments in that car that I was like, I just want to cry. I am so frustrated. I have no control over this. And it was a lot of releasing for me. So, and like, the kids in the back were phenomenal. They had their devices. They didn't care. I mean, thank God we have an emergency pee bucket in the car, but I probably shouldn't share.
Do you have your emergency pee buckets just in case?
Just in case.
With lots of water and blankets and flares. God only knows what will happen when you go out on the roads these days.
Totally right. But anyway, and then after, like, so we finally get smooth sailing into traffic or out of traffic, and then right behind us there, we go through this intersection, and I just had this feeling on my back, like something's about to happen. Like, what the heck? And all of a sudden, there was this like explosion right behind us. We were like, what the? Both the kids and I are all like, what's that light? And this car goes flying into a pole. Like, and we were just like, oh my God, that pole would have been us a second previous kind of thing. And so just like, he was okay. So remarkably, I still can't figure out what the explosion was. Like, there was nothing there. Like, it was weird. But anyway, we were just like, well, thank you for whoever took care of us in that moment to get us through that intersection the second before. But yeah, so there just felt like there was a lot of energy yesterday. And then, like I told you when I got on the call, a lot of confusion this morning. What day is it? Where are we? What am I supposed to be doing today?
I'm like, yeah, explosive energy. It really is. I mean, if anybody follows me and knows me personally of some of the things that have been going on over here in my corner of the world, in my community, and in my neighborhood, and for me personally, there has been explosive, aggressive behavior, like crazy town, make no sense, not using any kind of logic, just angry, icky kind of stuff watching people. And I unfortunately had to go through some stuff a few days ago at the end of last week with neighbors, and it's like, yikes, like yikes. Like so that energy, I just want to go run and hide. Like it's not that I can't hold my ground, but it's like I so want to just go to the woods. That's what I've done actually, to be really clear of what I have been feeling, along with a lot of serious anxiety and bursts of like emotions and tears, and just having to release the energy. Like just like a thought will make me want to cry. I'm actually the last day and a bit, I've been feeling better, but from the end of last week throughout the weekend, the energy was just building and shaking up, and just having to move some of it. But I really been like, I just want to get on a plane and go to Ireland and go crawl into the lush green woods. Let me just go. Like I don't that's all I want to do. I just like want to hide away and just lay myself down into the land of Ireland, because obviously I spent a lot of time there, and I classically would be away in the next 2 weeks there, but we are still trying to find some stuff going on and settling in here. So back into like sharing all this with you guys is, if you are feeling like, what the bleep, share it out, talk to somebody about it. I know there's people in our community I've already chatted with personally with stuff, and they've been sharing what they've been going through. So, which is part of what our community is about, is getting to know each other and having those resources and those connections with people that really truly understand sometimes things that don't have words, and things that are just so overwhelming at times too. So it has been that here. Nancy's having it in her own way. I'm having it my way. You're having it whatever way it is. Maybe this eclipse feels really good for you. Like I've had eclipses where people are going, "Ah," and I'm like, I feel really good. Yet, those of you that know your natal chart, if you're having a crazy ass time right now, there's probably a reason for that. So let's get into a little bit of that astrology and natal stuff about why and what you could be going through with this eclipse season, or with this eclipse right now, I should say, that we're having today. So today is October the 2nd, apparently, and that's a Wednesday. Because Nancy and I were like, I'm like, it's Tuesday. She's like, I don't know what day. What day? I know. Apparently it's Wednesday. It's October 2nd. Literally in the energetics of happening right now, like we said, the Libra solar eclipse, new moon energy today, lots happening. So what I've been noticing, so for any of you that are cardinal signs, so that means Aries, if you're an Aries, if you're Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Those are the 4 signs of the zodiac that are the pivotal starting of our seasons of spring, summer, fall, and winter. And they're getting really, we've been going through some shit. I'm a Capricorn, and my rising is Cancer. So I got another cardinal there. And my moon and various things are up on the Aries. And my Libra has freaking Pluto and shit right happening. So I mean, like, I feel like I'm hitting all areas. So even if you know, obviously most of you would at least know your sun sign, maybe you know the other 2, which is the rising and the moon. If those happen to be Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, you may be feeling this stuff quite a bit. Like, this is a big, huge shakeup. We're like, are we not freaking done this crap? But this is like to get us moving really forward to something. We're breaking through something. We're just so, we're so done. Like, we've been through a lot of things. So this is, even though it's intense, it's like, it's really shaking shit up and at a cellular level. And I've been talking with another member that's in our community about this. It's like a death and rebirth and a cellular evolution of something that's happening more than what other patterns and maybe healing that we've done. This is something a little different. So keep breathing. There is light. Follow the light to the end of the tunnel. There is, and there's a reason for this. So there's deep medicine and magic that's going on here, but it is intense. It is intense for a lot of people right now, this particular one, especially cardinals and cardinal signs. And we're at a cardinal point because of, we just came into Libra. So Libra season started on the 22nd of September. We officially came into here in the Northern Hemisphere, the beautiful autumn season, and we'll be in this Libra energy until the 22nd of October, which then we go into that fun Scorpio energy of really death and rebirth, ruled by Pluto, and really wants us to go down into that underworld and rebirth into that beautiful Phoenix energy. But right now, where we are, this Libra with all this energy is really helping us to find a new true bounce and a true path of who we are in it. Like, the visual I literally just got, guys, was like, and this might be very visual, but literally I just saw, like, down to your core essence, like almost stripping away everything you are to almost like, sorry if this is a little too visual, but it was like stripped down to seeing your anatomy of your body, of things, like take away the skin. And of course we're in Halloweeny witchy, maybe that's a good thing for some of you guys. Like, ooh, vibes. But it's literally a deep, like, take off extra layers and come through. And as you come through, you're going to be finding those new, the healthier, tissues, the healthier cells, the healthier skin, and everything that you are walking and birthing in to a point of yourself that you've never had or been before. So it's intense. Even my description, it's intense. But this Libra season and this ring of fire of the solar eclipse that's being seen in certain parts of the world, there is this big passage. And eclipse seasons are about beginnings and endings, really endings and beginnings, the other way around. There is really a death and rebirth energy, and we're being supported big time. And the question here in Libra season is, what's in balance? How are you holding your harmony or your balance? How are your relationships with yourself? How are the freaking relationships around you, or people, or those, whether they're close ones or just in your neighborhood or anything? Is like, what are you clearing out? What don't you need? And where are you really at peace and sure of self. And of course, Libra is ruled by Venus, but in the masculine sense of it, right? So there's this action oriented and love and sureness within it. Cardinal sign, like I said, is that let's get going. Like, I have things to freaking do. I'm going to get started. But we're doing the getting started part. If you're feeling like, well, I'm not getting started, I feel like I'm going through this. It is this. It is this, and it's okay. It's okay. So, welcome to fully autumn and Libra season, eclipse season. We hope you're still with us on our call, because this is not like any other call that we've started. This is a little bit of everything. So Nancy, what do you got there? What are you feeling when it comes into all Libra energies that we're in, and now starting into this fresh, we're in a fresh new week of a new month. Tell us about the 9. Tell us about this you know what? I mean, you know how we're like, what day is it? What month it is it? When you said it's 9 energy, I'm like, oh, right. We switched the month into the 9 energy too, Roberta, to just add that one on there. So tell us about this, Nancy.
Absolutely. So everything you said, I was just like, yes. And of course, all of this is coming with us with this 9 energy month. And we are starting it with this, like, this big eruption. And it feels like this morning I was like, reading a few posts and, like, unexpected changes, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, okay, how many times have we heard this? And at the same time, I was like, but it feels different. It feels like, yes, we've been building, building, building. And now, like, in this 9 energy month, in this 8 energy year, like, it is time for this big release and true shift. Like, all the other things have been those working in the backgrounds, the unseen, but now it feels like, yes, we are now going to be witnessing and experiencing. So some of the notes, so the 9 is like the completion of the 1 through 9 cycle, right? It's like, okay, let's let this go, but letting it go to be able to be that person that you just described. Like, it's not letting go just to let go. It is for this big transformation, that Scorpio energy. Like, I really feel like it is, as we're building through the rest of Libra, the 9 energies really want to support us in those checks and balances. Where is it that okay, let's let go a little bit of more of this so that we can bring in some more of this. If we want to bring in more of this, we need to let go a little bit more of this. And then as we get closer to that Scorpio season, then it's like, whoosh, oh, here it is. Like, that's really, and so the 9 really wants us to let go of what we should be doing, what we think we're supposed to be doing. And I know you've heard both Roberta and I talk about this before, like, this isn't new, but it's that next level of it. We really want to level up in this month's 9 energy, and also knowing that this is a preview of 2025. 2025 is a 9 energy year. So the more that we are willing to embrace releasing and letting go to bring in what we truly want, I do feel like there's so much magic in the 9. Like, it is one of my favorite numbers, and like, there's so many ways to come to it, and that to mirror back in reflection, and that feels very important with this Libra season too. Like, 4 plus 5, for example, right? It's like equals 9, and then it's like, but then 5 plus 4 equals 9, like, as an example. Like, just the way you can switch, it's just giving us freedom to switch the way that we're looking at things, to look at things from a new perspective, even though the numbers are the same. 4 plus 5 and 5 plus 4 really are the same, but if you look at it on paper, it looks so different, and how you get to it. So it's an invitation to look at everything from different angles, and the unfolding potentials, as the post-it that I have written up on my right above me here for this month. It's just like, okay, you don't know the path, but let the path unfold in front of you. I had another note here that I was like, that went along with that. So when I look at the numerology of the numbers, I think, are we going to do like week by week when we do the readings, or I
Yeah,
just
your
yeah,
oversight even.
oh, totally. It really, there's just a lot of opportunities where we have one day and then it's reflected back at us a different way a few days later. And it's these beautiful opportunities. For example, tomorrow is October 3rd, my parents' 56th wedding anniversary. So, but it's a 3 with a 6 of diamonds. And then we go to October 6th, which is the 6 with the 3 of diamonds. So just like the numbers, the energy, there's similarities, but also differences. And it's like being aware of those patterns this month and just being like, okay, what did it feel like on this day when it was this way? And then, oh, here it is coming at it just from a different angle. How does it feel on that day? So when you've got something going on in your life that you're wanting to move forward to, just allowing that freedom to move around. The wheel came through to me there, like, and just be like, okay, if I was over here, how would I look at it differently? And even if you want to pull in a little astrology here, like, if I was looking at this from my moon signs energy as opposed to my sun signs energy, how would that feel different? Right? Like, just there's a lot of opportunity this month to play with how things feel in your body, in your mind, in your heart, and just giving yourself a lot of space and grace to play with that energy and choose how you want to move forward with it. Um, and yeah, I think really experience is a word I have written down here too. Like, just really allowing yourself to feel it, even when it feels tough, and reach out for that connection. Like, you're not in this alone. So if it's feeling tough, then hug yourself, but also reach out for friendship and companionship and help. And just your voice feels really important this month too.
And just to say a few things, about our community, the Cosmic Earth Weavers community. Wakey, 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 wakey. We're in a new time. This community is important for connections. If you're not feeling it, if you have too much, feel free, to limit and maybe even reduce. Like, you can always come back if you need to. But those of you that are here, or you're like, oh my gosh, I really need to put some attention, we want to put some new energy in here so that we have support. This is about being here, seeing each other, seeing what our skill sets are and our magic each, so that we can also call out, like, to each other and go, I need some support. I know you are really great at such and such. So come in, let us know how you're doing. What's your magic? What do you need? How do you need support? Next Monday, whatever day that is, date. What is the date next Monday?
October 7th.
The 7th. I'm like, what is this? Like, that is our next healing room. So come to the healing room. If you want to share some of your gifts collaboratively in it for healing for the group that comes in, private, closed, not recorded group, do that. If not, you can just sit and receive and but be present. Don't be doing 101 other things and not on the screen. Be present. Come in and receive the medicine and healing. Okay, so I'm just saying this. We really want to support each other in our community. So come on, I know I think the season's also is like, what is really important to us? And it's okay when we got to let go of something, when we got to, like, I got too much social media things, or I got too many communities. It's the time of, like, where am I putting my energy? What do I really need now? Right? And then, and focus on that. Your medicine, the medicine you need, the medicine you are. And if you're in a state kind of like, I don't know who I am or what's happening with my medicine, great, awesome, come on. And it's just that receiving and cleaning and clearing. I feel like we got, so much we could be chatting about in this particular call. The other thing, while we're talking and when we were picking our cards, just want to say this, we're picking, sorry guys, I think that's I'm just going to close down. It's coming from Facebook, and of course that's up in the background. I just want to, can you still see me there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just hopping over because I'm finding that so annoying because it's messenger stuff, but I have to keep that up and running. I'm going to close that down a bit. Okay, sorry guys. I really hate when there's alerts, but it's private, it's messages that are coming through on Facebook page. There we go, I'm back. So what was I saying? Who knows? Come into the community, blah, blah, blah. We got lots to say. It's a shit show, but it's a good shit show. And when we were picking our cards today, see, I just had to read what I was saying. This deck wanted to come out and play to the point that it literally jumped off my shelf. Oh, the box opened up. The whole cards went like, hey, come, I have a message. And I feel like it's just a message. While we were talking earlier, starting this, I was like, Nancy was chatting, and I was like, I need to pull the card now. And the card, and it's funny, Nancy, you said, it's about seeing the beauty in all of it. The freaking card that I pulled is called See the Beauty. Okay, guys, like, you see this? Look, it's a portal.
I know.
And it's like portals above and below and on around. So this, see the beauty, gratitude, the sacred is everywhere. Let's all just like pause. If you're here live or on the replay, wherever you're finding this, if you're here with us, just pause for a moment and just feel the beauty, feel the sacredness. And this statement, the sacred is everywhere. This experience is sacred. This evolution, this uncomfortableness, this death and rebirth, the I don't freaking know what's going on. And it's okay. It is sacred. So I just had to like make sure I showed you this card because I really felt like it wanted to come in. And this is from Rebecca Campbell's latest deck that came out back in May, I think it was, the Ancient Stones. So if you're just wondering where that's coming from, if you have it, go have a little look at that card, See the Beauty. So getting into, because we do want to do our cards, we're kind of trying to put this together, though. I really do feel maybe next month we'll try to come back to like separating out, because it's a lot. There's just so much going on. So the main thing I just for astrology, when I was sitting here about to do my notes on that today, guys, I was like, there's just so much stuff out there about astrology these days, which is fantastic. So many beautiful things, so many beautiful posts. There's just but there's a lot, right? So it's like, what do we need to just be in? And yes, I'm just going to tell you just a highlight of a few things that are coming up. The overview is we've already talked about Libra season to the 22nd, then going to Scorpio. We think it's a fire sign. It's not. It's a deep, watery sign, Scorpio, with that feel of fire because that transformation. So those are the bigger energetics. New moon today, October 2nd. It's the Libra new moon with the solar eclipse. We also go into our full moon in Aries, fiery Aries on the 17th. The other things that are going on, Jupiter on October 9th is stationing retrograde. Pluto stations direct. Sorry, I get a little excited because stationing direct for the last freaking time in the last, degrees of Capricorn, which, that's my sign. So that Pluto's gonna finally get out of Capricorn, because we've had a lot of back and forth, right? Of that. And it's been playing such a big role for us to go into our evolution. but it's been coming back over to Capricorn a few times. I think about 3 times, just retracing that last little bit. So it's going direct to finish out so we can get into Aquarius, and just stay and do its journey in that part. So that is the 11th of this month. Mercury enters Scorpio on the 13th. Venus enters Sagittarius. That's where my Venus sits on my chart. I hope you guys are learning your chart, looking at it. If you would like Nancy and I to do some workshops about how to navigate your natal chart, reach out to us, because we got that medicine. We can do that. And then of course, Sun enters Scorpio on the 22nd. So just highlights. Those are big ones. Lots of other things happen, but just those are kind of bigger ones to kind of have if you like to follow the astrology of things. Like so Nancy, the 9 energy. Whew, I like 9 too. It's a death and rebirth. It's that I see right now that the imagery of the snake eating its tail. Yeah. The cycle. That's so it's good medicine, but deep. We're in deepness. And I thank you, Nancy. Also, yeah, this is the reminder for us to think about. We will be going into a full year of 9 energy next at 2025. And when we get to October, this is like, we get into this preview of energetics of how we're going to set and see things for the following year. So these are important things to come up to think about. So Nancy, do you have anything else before we just get into these weekly cards?
Just taking a little look-see here. I think there's an invitation to when you hear oh, it's a preview of 2025. How does that feel in your body? Does that create excitement or does that create some resistance? And just being aware of that and being like, okay, I ultimately am at choice. And when we think back to that sacredness, that I get to make sacred conscious choices about how I want this to feel. And yes, we are human. So there are going to be days this month that do feel, oh, and there will be days that it's like, yes, this is what 2025 is going to feel like. Bring it. But so just allowing space and love for it all. I just really feel like I know that there's been a few times where I've had a little bit of, oh, I'm not sure if I'm ready for a preview of 2025. I feel like I'm still in 2018, 17, how are we even here? But just being really aware of how things feel in your body and choosing to shift it if you choose, or choosing to amplify it if you choose. I feel like you're really going to focus on choice this month, personally.
Yes, all of it. Feel it in. I mean, it is it's a weird energy in the sense, I think, that we are going through, in the sense of there's, oh my gosh, and we're feeling and seeing the goodness. There's a trust.
Yeah.
I mean, lean into that. When it comes, even if it's in small moments, there's a trust, and that's medicine. That's power, right? That's faith. That's trust. That's what's going to be pulling through. So keep dancing with both. And I see it as we're kneading and mixing and stirring and bringing it all in to alchemize all the ooh, ick, and the okay. Yeah, trust. We're going in, and we're going into something beautiful. And there's beauty and sacredness everywhere in it. So before we pull the cards, Nancy, I'm actually going to stop the recording for this particular part, since it's so when I post it, it's nice and clean and clear and easy to get to. So we're going to leave you with this first part of what we said, and then we're going to start another recording. We're not going anywhere in the Cosmic Earth community. We're still live over there. I am just going to stop and pause for that. If you'll have to go look for the card part on the other page.